how much you can not be affected by your moods when you know a couple of things about how we respond. Hello, Transurfer, and welcome to TransurfingTV. I am Renee Garcia, and today I'm going to give you a little lesson on S&M. Psychological S&M. I'm actually going to be talking about how ridiculously stupid we are as human beings. We're just essentially giant pleasure and pain factories responding to really just a couple of things, either in a positive way or a negative way, and this sort of affects our mood, our being, our state of being, our outlook on life, our worldview, and it's really amazing how much you can not be affected by your moods when you know a couple of things about how we respond to these instinctual drives we have as human beings. So before I get into it though, let me remind you to please like this video, subscribe, and comment below. My world is taking care of me to enter my daily giveaway for my reprogramming stickers and teachable course Reality 2.0 down below. So, okay, here it is, you guys. We as human beings, we have two instinctual drives. One is to survive. This equates to shelter, money, food, all the things that we need to feel comfortable as human beings and feel as though we are surviving at a superior rate to other people. I know that sounds a little bit weird, but really when we see other people surviving better than us, so that's why, like, when we're looking at something, let's say TV or social media, and we see somebody surviving better than we are, they're driving a fancier car, they have a fancier house, they have more money, like people that are flaunting, there's that little trigger of like jealousy or some sort of, you know, not positive emotion because you're acknowledging that another human being is surviving at a better rate than you are, at a higher level than you are, and it triggers this instinctual drive. Well, I want that. Well, I want that, right? And this actually equates to a little bit of pain. And some people are aware enough that this does not happen to them, like me. It used to happen to me, and it used to happen to me in a very significant way until I realized exactly what it was I was doing. And now when I see this stuff, I understand what's happening internally, what my instinctual drive, how it kicks in when I see these sorts of images, or I drive through a fancy neighborhood and see the bigger houses and the nicer cars and all the accoutrements and things that go with surviving at a higher level. So this equates to pain, and unless you're aware of it, right? And this sort of emotional state that we go into when we feel as though we are lacking the basics. So again, survival, food, money, shelter, all the comforts, and then love as well. Love is the other instinctual drive. I'm pointing to the heart here. Love is the other instinctual drive because this is I know we overcomplicate it as humans. You know, we get so enthralled with somebody that blah, 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 whatever. But really what it boils down to is our instinctual drive is telling us to mate, right? To have sex, to procreate, to do the things we need to do to propagate our species. So I know I'm actually sounding not very human right now. And actually I'm not human. I'm a Russian cyborg created by Vadim Zeland, so I'm just gonna let you guys in on that one. So we have these two primary instinctual drives: love, sex, procreation, and money, survival, nice comfort, all those sorts of things. Okay, so what I'm getting at is when you have a lack of these things, and this is kind of like actually hacking the human brain. This is hacking the instinctual drive. If you can dial into this, you can get what I'm saying, and then you can pay attention to yourself and understand how these two instinctual drives are in fact influencing you and your levels of happiness. So this is exactly why I give my Mo Money course and my Becoming Magnetic course, because these are the two things that humans are endlessly having issues over, and these are two of the most important things, right? Because again, these are tied to our primary instinctual drives. So when I say that all the stuff that you want exists up on higher lifelines, this is really so you feel fulfilled in those two instinctual areas, and you have a better likelihood of happiness. Because when you have a lack of love and money, sex, procreation, comfort, shelter, finances, all that stuff, then you're on these lower tracks. You're depressed. You're feeling as though you don't have, which you probably don't, and you resonate with this depressed state, not having these things. You give in to what your instinctual drive does naturally, telling you something's wrong, telling you you have to get this stuff, right? Because if that didn't happen, if it didn't say, hey, you need to go get this, you wouldn't, and we wouldn't be around as a species. So the instinctual drive kicks in, telling us that we need to get the stuff. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky. The instinctual drive kicks in. If your love life isn't, fulfilled, or your finances aren't fulfilled, your instinctual drive's telling you that you need to do this stuff. You need to take care of this stuff. You need to manage this stuff. You need to get up here and get those things, right? Because instinctually, we want to be up here because then we're doing what we are intended to do. But the lack mentality, right? And us behaving like machines or snails, rather. This is really what Tuffy's talking about when she's talking about snails. So you're responsive, but then you don't know what to do. So you just maintain this responsive nature. Something's wrong. I don't have love. I don't have money. My life's incomplete. You maintain this responsiveness to your environment, yet you do not try to harness the things, or you fail to understand how to play the game, and you simply end up staying in this place, not excelling to some of these higher lifelines where the presence of what our instinctual drive is pushing us towards exists, right? So here I have this chart, which is a mix of my idea, my visual representation of lifelines and how I see them in my mind, and my ideas on pleasure and pain, okay? So you're down here, this is bottom, you're depressed, you're alone, and you don't have money, okay? So this is total lack mentality. This is you not being aware of how the human system works, right? That we are essentially pleasure and pain factories, and you are giving into the pain of not having these things, okay? So let's say that you manage to now, let's say this is you right now, okay? And you're listening to this, and you're listening to me, and you say to yourself, oh, I understand, I've just been responding to the fact that I don't have love and I don't have money. And I know now that my body telling me something's wrong is just a reaction that has, evolved out of millions of years of evolution, right? To help you try to drive you or push you in the right direction of succeeding as a human being. Okay, so let's say you realize what you're doing and you get up to one of these maybe middle tracks, okay? So the middle track is better than down here, but it's not as good as up here. And the reason for this is until you completely understand and accept and stay aware of how you are acting like a human in the moment. You're always going to be in a fragile state, fear of losing what it is you have gained. So this middle place is where I existed for a long time. I would get the guy, get the boyfriend, have a little bit of money, but I would be totally fearful that I was gonna lose it, right? That it was gonna slip through my fingers, and ultimately it would, because of importance levels, because of my lack of understanding of how to get up here and stay up here, and because of the fragile nature of the reality that I created, right? I'm dependent on love, I'm dependent on money, and if they go down, my mood goes down, my state goes down, my state of being, I go back down here where lack mindset kicks in, unawareness, behaving like a responsive snail, machine, whatever you want to call it. So how do you get up here? Well, understanding exactly what I'm talking about is really the most crucial step. Understanding that when you feel depressed, or when you feel anxiety, or when you feel some sort of undesirable emotion or something, that you understand that nothing's wrong. Your body, your humanness is just doing what it needs to do to ensure the survival of our species. It's telling you something's wrong so you can kick into action, and you can start doing the things to fulfill what it is we are meant to fulfill as human beings. Here's the tricky part, another tricky part. There is never enough, right? This is why billionaires commit suicide, because even if you get $1 billion, you still have this instinctual thing going, right? More, 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 more. The instinctual thing is always going to be kicking in. This is why wealthy people are depressed. This is why people that are in healthy relationships become disenchanted and feel the grass is greener somewhere else, or something is beyond, right? Because our humanness is always pushing, 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 more money, more love, more this, more that. So the idea is that you do the things you need to do as a human being, which is managing your reality, managing your pendulums. This is another thing. When you're down here and you don't have any love or any money in your life, or you are lacking one or the other, this is most likely because you've been giving your energy away to pendulums. Therefore, you don't have enough energy for yourself to go about the right ways of getting these things specifically. So when you start taking your energy back for yourself and understand the mechanics of your humanness, then you can really go about obtaining the things that maybe are missing in your reality, but understanding at the same time you can obtain, you're still going to have this instinctual urge for more, right? And even when you get up here, so I'm up here now, right? I've got lots and lots of love, and I've got lots and lots of money. I've got lots of money, but at the same time, in my mind, it's never enough, right? It's never enough. And if I do $10,000 profit in sales in one of my businesses, and I'm happy with that, well, the next month I'm going to want 20, right? And if I don't get it, then instinctually my nature is going to say, hey, something's wrong. You need more, you need more, you need more. But this is why I'm able to maintain being up here. I don't let that instinctual drive telling me that I need more to lower my mood to the extent where I ever go back down to here, right? I never go back down to here because I'm not doing this stuff. I am maintaining my energy for myself, doing what I need to do to fill these things, and then I maintain my levels of importance around them. I understand the system, right? I understand the system, and when I don't get more and something kicks in saying, hey, something's wrong, I don't let it plunge me down to here. Sometimes I'll go down maybe to here, you know, boyfriend and I have a fight, or I have a month where I don't have that many sales. But I know that staying in that state of being, of feeling like, oh God, I'm headed down here, this is gonna suck. It's going to suck and it's going to happen if I do. Now I just do the best that I can do to fill the things I need to fill, and I let go of the rest, right? And I don't let myself really go on this roller coaster of ups and downs, doing what my body, my brain, my psychology as a human being drives me to do. I'm aware of it. So if you can really break it down on this level, if you're not happy right now for some reason, I guarantee you it has something to do with love, or it has something to do with money. Pay attention to how much you're letting that affect you, right? Start to push through it, even if you are feeling depressed. Get yourself in a position where you can go past these levels. And I know this, it's like, well, that's easier said than done, but just not being aware of our instinctual drives as human beings and the tricks that our minds play on us, you're not going to really get past this. You're always just going to be resonating in this lower state. I tried my best to explain this. I hope that I explained it well. Let me know your thoughts. Absolutely, let me know your thoughts. And are you doing this? Are you up here? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Does this make sense? This is like transurfing. Transurfing S&M. So let me know your thoughts. Remember to like this video and comment below. My world is taking care of me. And subscribe. And thank you for watching my video. Bye.